Hey, how's it going, people? I'm Aaron, and thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Now, I know a number of you are probably interested in getting into the pallet flipping game, as it's called. This is it can be a lot of work. I do it along with my business partner full time. This is how we generate our revenue. It makes sense for us. We enjoy it. We have sometimes some highs and sometimes some lows, but we have not lost at this yet. We've profited. We've stayed in the green. We've been able to maintain a decent existence, and we are looking to increase the volume that we are currently dealing with, and so that's pretty much that's our go. But our goal. But to get in, let me go back. I kind of went a little too fast. To get into the meat and potatoes of what we are going to talk about today. This particular video is for those of you who are interested in getting into the pallet flipping game. Again, I'm Aaron, if I haven't already introduced myself, and this is my business partner, Casey. And as you can see, we have a lot of products behind us. As this particular video goes on, I will explain more in detail about what's going on. And we flip pallets, but before we started flipping pallets, we actually ran a brick and mortar business that was located in Glasgow, Kentucky. We ran it for about 2 years, and then we realized that we enjoyed generating finances. So we decided to close the shop down and start flipping pallets. So that's what we did. We started flipping wholesale merchandise by the truckload. Right here is basically we purchased 3 pallets on this particular load, on a particular run, and we had to figure out how we was going to get 3 pallets of merchandise into a pickup truck. So we utilized every inch of space, and we made it work. This is another angle. I'm gonna come back to this picture here in I think 2 frames. And I'm gonna show you the front side of this picture. But this picture has or this particular pallet has a couple of lawnmowers on it. This is a lawnmower right here. I think a couple of pressure washers, a monitor right here, some speakers right here. I think a couple of coffee makers right here, and some I think some tools of some sort right here. This particular pallet right here cost us $660. It had a bunch of gaming monitors on it that average somewhere in the neighborhood of 3 to 4, maybe 500 notes and upwards per monitor. And luckily, the majority, if not all of them, were in excellent condition. I think we ultimately ended up generating off this one pallet alone close to 2,000, which was, it was a mother load, if I may say so. Excuse me. So ultimately, the pallet flipping game can be extremely profitable for sure. Again, this is that picture that I was just telling you about. This is the front side of it. Yeah, there's a lawnmower right here, some tools. I don't know what that right there is. That might be a sound bar. I think that's a weed eater right there. Another weed eater right there. This is that monitor I was telling you about, LG. So yeah, I think that might be that's a sound bar too, right there. I think both of those are sound bars. Nevertheless, so as you can see, we managed to get all 3 pallets into the truck. This is probably about 2.5 pallets in the bed. And then in the cab, we managed to get the rest of the stuff into the cab. So in that very first picture where it was Casey and myself, all that stuff you seen behind us was this stuff right here. So these are the monitors. These are the portable monitors. I think that's a weed eater, a chainsaw, something right here. Some more power tools down there. So, and then we started flipping pallets by the box truckload. So we kind of graduated. So we went from using pickup trucks to box trucks, which just really made it, it was just more convenient. Again, it's kind of one of those things. Weathering wasn't an issue, so that was a plus. As you can see, there's some sound bars on it and things of that nature. Just all kind of things, just thousands and thousands in inventory. And so we turn around and convert that into thousands and thousands. So it's a give and take kind of scenario. Some of these pallets collectively, they may be 5, maybe 10,000 worth of products. We turn around and we'll flip it for 4 or 5,000. So and we compensate 1,000. So do the math on that. It's it just tends to make sense from our point of view. This is more stuff again. So you are one of the ones that are curious. And so let's get into the 5 keys, or the 5 keys. I don't know where that came from. The key points to consider. What's your minimum investment? We started with 1,000, and we kind of just graduated. Actually, I think we started with 600. Now that I think about it, I think it was like 600 and something we started with. But then I think our next purchase, we spent like 1,000 or whatever. Where will you be getting your wholesale merchandise from? We traveled within our region, Indiana, Kentucky, and Tennessee, in search for the best deals. How will you be transporting these pallets of wholesale merchandise after you've made your purchase? We chose rental trucks. It just made sense. It was way affordable, and it was convenient. It just made sense. It made it easy. It made it really easy. Where will you be storing and processing this merchandise? We chose the car garage. So the car no longer has a home. We converted the garage into a processing facility where we're able to, have room and do what it is we do. I will read this because I'm sure down here at the video is probably going to block this last little part. Anyways, after sorting and processing, which platform will you consider using to sell these products? We chose Facebook Marketplace and a number of online platforms like eBay and things of that nature. Other key points to consider: conducting face-to-face interactions with customers in a safe, neutral, public environment. That's a big one. Another big one is scammers who pass off movie, motion, picture, prop, paper, otherwise known as funny money. We had that happen to us one time. You just gotta, use common sense. I say common sense, but sometimes it's not even common. If you meet up with a buyer and they're fidgety, they're in a rush, they gotta go, hairpin, whatever. Just, be very cautious, because that's kind of how we got caught up when we got scammed with the movie, motion, picture, prop, paper. Anyways, another points to consider is online sales, packaging and shipping, as well as returns. So that brings us into this next thing about the returns. This is a Roland 909 turntable. It retails for $373. We actually shipped this one overseas to Spain, and ultimately what ended up happening was eBay refunded them because the product arrived damaged from the shipping. And so what we ended up doing was we just let the people keep it, because we didn't want to compensate another 100 and something else to have it shipped back to us. And sometimes what you'll run into on eBay and other platforms is that certain buyers will send you back bricks or dirt or something like that. So we didn't want to compensate 100 and something notes, to get it sent back to us for it to be, who knows what it would, would have been. Don't know. It wasn't worth it. So we just let them keep it. We cut our losses, and that's just what it was. A lot of the products that we purchase, we don't compensate any more than 25 notes for, and most often it's way less. Like that pallet of monitors, we compensated like 25, maybe 20 to 25 notes per item on that pallet. And so, and you're selling those monitors for like 300, 400, 500 notes, just depending on what they are. But you're selling them for an amount to where you're getting times 16 what you have invested in it. It's just, it's insane. But this is how we generate, our finances. This right here is another item that we refunded them for. We had no way of testing it, so we didn't know if it worked or not. And so we sold it knowing that if the person got it and if it didn't work, we were just going to refund them and let them keep it. It just made sense. We wasn't too much worried about it. This right here, this subwoofer, it retails for, it's a Yamaha HS8S powered studio subwoofer, 8-inch. It retails for $469. I think we might have sold it for right at 300 maybe. I'm not even sure, but nevertheless, that was the outcome with that situation. Tools have been profitable for us. Tools have been very profitable for us. The reason being is tools are very durable. It's kind of hard to tear up tools. They do tear up sometimes, but a lot of times, like with monitors and receivers, stereo receivers and things of that nature, and speakers and yada yada yada, they're easier to, you know, destroy. And so therefore it could be, you could have an issue reselling them unless you sell it as, you know, malfunction or whatever. When we sold a lot of stuff like that, we sold a lot of monitors, a number of monitors, shall I say, you know, with broken screens, and people buy them for the parts. So it just, you know, it literally made sense. And so therefore, that is an option. You don't have to necessarily lose if you know what you're doing. This right here is a Trolley Jack. I think we compensated. Well, no, it retail for 60. The majority of the things that we sell, we attempt to get at least half of whatever the full price is. Sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less, but that's what we ultimately end up doing. This particular Jack retails for 60. I think we sold it for like 40 or something like that. Let me see. This right here. What is this right here? This is an extreme powered 2000 or 2200 watt heavy duty electric demolition hammer or jack. It retails for 129. I think we sold it for 80. Yeah, let me see. This is a crane 575 multi undercutting saw. It retails for 254. We sold it for. From storefront brick and mortar business operators to wholesale buyers and now pallet flippers, do you think you have what it takes to turn a small investment into huge profits? Check out A Day in the Life of Pallet Flipping 101. Video link in the description. Right at 150 or something like that. Evolution concrete saw. This retails for 129. We sold it. Actually, it retails for 159. We sold it for, I think, 80. This is a Westinghouse Inverter. It retails for 479. We sold this one for, I think it was right at 300. Again, these products, we're compensating no more than about 25, if not less than that. We probably only compensated 15 notes with this one. Again, when you compensate 15 notes and you're able to sell it for 400, I mean, your profit margin is ridiculously high, which is good because again, this is what we do. We flip pallets. That's what we do. You want the high yield. I mean, this is the reason why you do what you do. Now, we have a couple of other strategies that we will be implementing in the near future. We want to get into volume, and when you get into volume, then it's not necessarily, you don't have to necessarily generate 400 notes. We could have sold this thing for 150 and could have got it same day, like literally. I mean, things like this sell ridiculously fast. This is just another angle of the same unit. This is a fishing pole, Echo Glass. This pole retails for $259. We have yet to sell it, and I'm sure we'll probably get about 100 to 150 out of it easily. This right here is an Alienware Monitor, a Alienware Curve 34-inch monitor. It retails for $1,029. We sold it for 400 notes. We compensated less than 25 notes for it, and this is times 16 your investment. You compensate 25 and you get 400 notes out of it. That's 16 times your investment. Like it just makes sense. It's a no-brainer. This is what happens. This is one of those unknown secrets that exist. So many people, I mean, just they don't know about it. If they knew about it, would they do it? I don't know. People are kind of skeptical when it comes to investing finances. People, I don't know. Anyways, on to the next. This is the Alienware Monitor again. This right here is an Acer or an Asus Zen Screen Go portable monitor. It retails, I think it's $225. We sold this one for like $125. The condition of it, excellent. We have several of these. The condition of them are excellent. So again, you compensating, like I think we compensated for these monitors. I think they were like 25 notes each. We just take all the products on that pallet, everything that works, and then we divide it by what we compensated for that pallet, and that's what gives us our number of what we compensated for each item. And so yeah, we were selling these for like $125. This right here, this mic, the mic that I'm speaking on, this is the mic right here. It retails for, what does it retail for? Okay, it retails for $250. I've seen it as high as $300. I think this is going to be a keeper because I do videos like this. I do a number of other videos as well. And so we're actually using it to generate other streams of revenue. So again, we're either going to sell it and generate finance, or we'll keep it and use it for a purpose and generate finances. That's kind of the gist of it all. But yeah, so that, and actually we compensated 12. Well, it was like 1288, so I'll just say 13 notes for this right here. And so if we wanted to sell it, we could probably easily sell it for 200, 175, 200, and probably get it. It's quality. It's quality material, as you're listening to right now. Off to the next thing. This coffee maker. This is a DeLonghi. It's a Pro Original Espresso machine with milk frother. It retails for $459, if you can believe it. $459. And I think we sold it for right under 300. I think that's what we sold it for, right under 300. Again, we're compensating. We only probably compensated 20 notes for that, maybe 15, 20 notes for that, and we sold it for 300. So the profit margin is huge. This is like, we do this almost every day. We literally go to bed at night. We'll wake up to 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7 sales, online sales, while we were sleeping. We're generating finances while we sleep. This is a no-brainer. This right here, this was a jewel. This is another one that cost. This was 13. It was like 288. I'm sorry, 1288. Around 13. This right here was a jewel. This right here, this ELAC integrated amplifier, it retails for $879. We have yet to sell it, but we will probably ultimately end up getting somewhere in the neighborhood of 400 out of it, maybe somewhere in the neighborhood 350, 400 out of it. And we compensated 12 for it. I mean, where are they doing this at? Like, literally, where are they doing this at? I mean, this thing, like, this works. Flipping pallets really, 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 really works. These curtains right here, it's kind of a love-hate relationship with these curtains. When we first got them, they retail for $300, and then we seen that they had dropped down to $270, and then they went on sale for, I think, $150. And so, I don't know. We might ultimately end up selling them for 80 or 90 notes a piece. But nevertheless, yeah. I mean, and this, I think we might have compensated only like 3 or 4 notes for these, because we got these in this big old Gaylord box or whatever. So we compensated like a bunch of stuff in there. So we might have compensated no more than 5 notes for these curtains that retail for $300 brand new, or whatever the case may be, or at least did at one point in time. Let's move to the next slide. These are headlights. JW Speaker 8700 J2. They retail for $440. We sold them to a guy in Alabama. He seen us. He seen it on Facebook on Marketplace, and then he didn't feel safe about buying them on there. So we have another platform that we sell stuff on, and so we told him about it, and so he went there and he purchased them for right under 300 notes, which was awesome, because I think we compensated. What was this? This was probably another maybe 13, 14, 15 note product that we compensated for, and we got like almost 300 notes out of it. It just makes sense. These are Apple Watches, Series 5, and ironically, these didn't come on a pallet. These actually we bought out. I think they were like 75 each, and we ended up selling them for 350. We had several of them, and we did really good with these. We was very happy with the turnout and how we generated finances. It was cool. Sometimes you run into jewels like this, and you kind of just gotta cherish it in the moment, because it's not all the time. This is kind of a scavenge hunt for sure. This is a Casio PX 87 or 800 or 870 BK. This retails for $999. We got this on the pallet. The pallet costed us, I think it was $365. We'll probably end up selling this particular deal for anywhere from $400 to $600. Again, I mean, these are the kinds of deals that you can expect. You got to know how to pick pallets. That's something that we, over time, you just you learn how to do. When we first started doing this, we didn't know how to pick pallets. We was looking at the boxes and saying, oh, that's, 500 notes. We should get that pallet. And then come to find out, it didn't work. It's just kind of like, well, how do you pick pallets? There is a trick to picking pallets. There really is. But nevertheless, this is, as you can see, this is the box that came in, or whatever the case may be. This is right here. This is basically just our inventory. This is the garage that we store the product in. We have to process it, take pictures of it, and then post it. So it's somewhat of a lengthy, job, but we enjoy it, and we generate, finances. We generate, an existence. We are able to exist based off the finances we generate off of, flipping pallets. It makes sense. This right here are just some coffee makers. We organize our stuff. Keeping a clean environment is crucial, is imperative. It's just one of those things, you know. The more organized, the better functioning your system is going to be. The better functioning, you know, what you're doing is going to, how, you know, it's going to operate, or it's going to operate a lot better. Anywho, we even profit from our damaged or not working merchandise. This is a big one. You got to know how to turn a product that you don't either A, feel like messing with, or B, you know, damaged, which basically don't feel like messing with. Because a lot of the stuff I have, like I've tinkered with, messed with, fixed, and things of that nature. But then sometimes you start dealing with so much volume, you don't have the time to deal with it. So what'll happen is we'll just throw it on these pallets, and, you know, we're charging like $250, $300 per pallet, and people are buying them. So again, we are recuperating finances that we've already spent out. So we're generating finances off of our trash, so to speak. You know what I mean? Things that can be fixed. We tell people, like we tell them, I mean, this pallet is full of merchandise that needs work and needs, if you're mechanically inclined and you can figure things out, this is for you. Like, we don't sham people. We don't, you know, lie to them and be like, oh, this is a good deal. That's, man, whatever. We just be honest about it, because at the end of the day, it wouldn't be nothing just to take it to the dump and just like, it just whatever. Like, that's kind of the outlook that I have on it. And so these are the same two pallets from a different angle. Same pallet. This is just up close. Yeah. So this is pretty much the gist of it. Do know that if you have watched the duration of this particular video, and you've come to the conclusion that, you know what, that's just a little bit too much work for me, I'm not interested, I don't want to do it, not for me. We are also offering an investment opportunity where our investors receive 40% interest per month. We work closely with those who invest with us. Yeah, this is something that we enjoy doing, and we know how to pick the pallets. We know how to get the pallets from point A to point B, the logistical aspect. We know how to process them. We know how to post. We know how to generate revenue. And so if that's something that you're interested in, you can message me on Facebook at m.me/ridiculousdeals.huge-discounts. If you have any questions, comments, I would love to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and we wish you all the best.